Hi, I'm Jennifer Janisch, owner of Adored Salon and Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions. I'm obsessed with curly hair. I cut it, style it, and extend it, and this podcast is all about my curly girl obsessions that stretch far beyond just curly hair.
Hey, it's me, Jennifer, the Curly Girl Obsessions podcast host. Today I'm in my daughter's room because the lighting is best in here right now because of the time of day. So there is a little slight mess behind me, but it's fine. Anyways, so the one of the biggest questions that I get is to talk about the curl tour right now. Like that is on the minds of a lot of the people who listen to this podcast. They're like, what is this? What is the curl tour? Okay, well, for starters, if you know me, I'm a curly hair specialist. And if you don't know me, I'm a curly hair specialist. I happen to own Adored Salon, which specializes in curly hair. And I also own Adored Signature Hand Tied Hair Extensions, which is the first hair extension line to have naturally curly hair from India in hair extensions. And honestly, we're still the only ones with naturally curly hand-tied hair extensions. The rest of the extension companies have permed or steam permed hair, and our hair comes from India. India is the world's largest source for hair because of the Hindu religion and its beliefs. They have a practice called tonsuring, which is a sacrifice to their gods. They go to the temples, they shave their heads, and they know that by giving this sacrifice to the gods, the temple is going to sell this hair and reinvest it into the communities for the people or into the temples. And the temples then sell the hair to hair suppliers and they create hair extensions with it. Now, because India is the world's largest hair supplier, it ships hair all over the place, right? So, and China is the world's largest extension manufacturer. So, India ships hair to China and everywhere else, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack to find a supplier in India that will create hair extensions. Hand tied, namely, because it is literally hand tying hair around a string to create a weft of hair to install in our extension clients, right? So, because they are the source of all of this hair, they are able to section out textures. So, when people go to get their hair shaved, the barbers that the temples employ put the hair into bundles like rubber band together, and they know what's straight, what's curly, what's wavy. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And if you're me with an extension line that caters to naturally curly, the only place you're going to get that is in India. Everywhere else uses chemical perms or steam perms to create it. So you're like, Jennifer, but you just told us that India ships hair around the world. That's correct. But in China, they're mixing Indian hair with Asian hair. So every type of texture actually is a chemical that comes out of China. There's a chemical to smooth it. There's a chemical to create a wave in it. There's a chemical to create a spiral permed look to it. And it's not that, well, the chemical breaks down the bonds within the hair to allow the formation of the curl to happen. And then another chemical is used to seal that in, and that's called a neutralizer. And it's not the chemicals that create the, like, it doesn't take one chemical to create wavy or one chemical to create curly. They use different tools to create the different curls. and the chemicals simply just break down the bonds. So just right there, right? Like when you're getting a chemical service on your hair, it's breaking down the bonds within your hair. It's compromising it. So imagine what a can you see my cat back there? He's trying to play with the window. Um, so anyways, total my ADHD there, focusing in on my cat. I'm supposed to be talking about hair. And so breaks down the bonds within the hair. That means that it compromises it, right? So what happens when your hair extensions become compromised? They're not going to last as long. It's just the golden rule, right? So the other thing is that by breaking down those bonds and creating a chemical curl or a steam permed curl, and both of those are different too. A chemical curl is more drying to the hair because it's breaking down the bonds. A steam curl is not as drying to the hair, but the curl does not last nearly as long with a steam perm. So back to the naturally curly, right? That's what my extension line is about. That is what my whole business is about, is specializing in curly hair. So how do you create a curl tour around naturally curly hand-tied hair extensions? Simple. Beauty school does not teach curly, nor do extension methods. So curly is the big questionable like thing, right? Like, because if in hair school you're only learning straight hair, in when you go to learn an extension method, they're only teaching it as a one size fits all. They're not catering to texture at all. And really and truly, let's be real, they're teaching you on straight mannequin heads how to put in straight hair extensions. And it is only catering to that one size fits all. And I know I just said that, but like it's super important because as everybody knows, when you walk down the street and you see people, not one person has the same face shape, head shape, hairstyle, hair type, hair color, right? Like everybody is different. So how is it that one method of installing extensions is good for everybody, right? Well, it's not. Okay. So I have created the curl tour around the Adored Signature install methods, which caters to texture. There's one foundational method and two variations. The foundational method is for the people like me, right? It's a super strong foundation. It oh gosh, how do I explain like what that foundation is about? It's a strong foundation. The second variation is, and like my explanation, it's a strong foundation. And honestly, you don't have to take my word for it. If you're a hairstylist and you want to learn how to put in hair extensions, you can come to my curl tour into the Adored Signature Install Methods class and you can learn. Simple as that. I teach how to install hair extensions, and you can use my methods on straight hair as well as curly, wavy, and that's that. Like, so the first method is the foundational method. It is a strong holding method. It is meant for hair textures like mine. The first variation of the method is meant for wavy hair textures. And is it is the compilation of all the extension methods that I've learned over time and what I feel is the best for my hair and wavy hair and hair that's similar to cotton candy. That's what the second variation is used for, is hair that's similar to cotton candy, because we have all these hidden beaded row methods that, you know, you can hide the natural hair between the wefts. You won't see the beads, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't work for someone's hair that's like super fine, thin, and just like fuzzles right up to their head. If you put that hair in between wefts, it will break right off. I'm telling you right now. So you need my foundational method tweaked a little bit to cater to those clients. Sounds like you're going to learn a lot of information in this class, and 100% you are. It's a 2-day class. Um, and I go into depth. Like you're getting my 14 years of experience with hair extensions, plus my 33 years of experience behind the chair, plus my 15 years of experience being a certified curly specialist, right? Like it sounds like a lot. It really and truly is a lot. I'm not trying to talk myself up, but there's this statement that I say all the time. If you want firsthand oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm thinking of my cat back there. If you want firsthand experience, you come learn with me. If you want secondhand information, you can learn from the rest because odds are they've learned it from me. I'm telling you, yes, I sound like I have a big ego right now. I have a big head, but I'm the only person in this curly space, in this extension world that is pioneering through this curly mission on how to have curly hair clients with naturally curly hair extensions. Everybody else out there is teaching you on theory and using permed hair extensions. So you're not getting the real deal. That's all I'm going to say. The second part of the curl tour is called the Blueprint to an Adored Signature Curly Install. Okay, so what the heck is this? The Blueprint to an Adored Signature Curly Install. Well, it's exactly my thought process on how to work your way through a curly install from start to finish. We show you how to hand select the texture, how to color curly. Why are there differences in curly? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the difference in curly from straight is that curly pushes out from the scalp. So you're always going to see the depth at the root more than you would with straight because straight hair lays like a blanket. Like, look at my hair. You could see it's 100% different from straight hair. And these undertones of the rooted look are always going to be more than what straight hair is going to be. The other thing with curly is you need more hair than you need with straight because you're building out to the fluff of their natural hair. We discussed this. You have to have more hair with a curly install because of the fluff of their hair. And two, because when you do the signature cut that I teach you in the class, you need a lot of hair to cut into. If you don't have enough hair to cut into, you're going to end up with a Billy Ray Cyrus mullet. Like, that's all I could say. 100% you are. You need a lot of extension hair to create a believable curly install. So that's the other part of the class. The signature cut, the signature styling technique, which also this styling technique is so freaking awesome that my hair lasts like 9 days at a minimum. I work out, I sweat, I do everything under the sun. My hair lasts for 9 days. I washed this hair on Wednesday. It's currently Sunday. It's actually the Super Bowl right now, but I'm not a big football buff. I am a Taylor Swift person. So I will, after I record this, go to see Taylor on TV and some of the commercials, but I could care less. And anyways, my hair now is 5 days old. You could see that I have the top up. It's just this section here, and it was because it was like falling forward and crazy. But the styling technique separates and defines the curls. It sets it into a style that will not create problems with your extensions. So one of my biggest things is that if you do not create a curly style like you create a straight style, the same thought process from wet to dry before you leave the salon or wet to dry before you're done styling your hair, you're going to end up with a problem on your hands with the extensions. They're going to tangle and mat. If you do not do something to create that style, your extensions will tangle and mat. Like it's just, it just is what it is. Like if you have straight hair, you're not just going to walk around letting it air dry and go to the grocery store. It's the same with curly. You have to create a style from start to finish. The difference with curly is we create the curls wet and then we get the hair dry. And obviously, when your hair is straight, you're going to do a blowout and then you're going to create the curls on dry hair. So you need to learn how to create a signature curly style so that your extensions look awesome forever and ever and ever. And it's imperative to teach your clients how to do this properly. If they don't know how to do it properly, their mess will become your mess. It will, 100%. And then we go over, Q&A, question and answer, how to sleep, troubleshooting, contracts, pricing for curly, because it is, again, totally different. Pricing for curly extensions are going to cost more than straight extensions because there's a lot more work involved. There's a lot more hair involved. So that is definitely a big part. So the curly blueprint, let's cover this real quick. Hair selection, coloring the model is part of the class. It's imperative to watch that because it's a bit different. Then the install, we're going to use one of the Adored Signature install methods to install the extensions. Now, while you're going to watch us install these extensions with the method, if you attend the curly blueprint or the blueprint to an Adored Signature curly install, that does not mean that you're certified in our install method. There's definitely not enough covered in the time that we're installing the extensions. Like if I said that you were certified in it, or that you would even, let's just even take the word certified out of it, but if you knew exactly what we were doing with that in the curly blueprint, you wouldn't. That there's just not enough time. But what you are learning, if you attend the curly blueprint, is how to do the curly from start to finish. So we've covered hair selection, coloring curly hair, installing the wefts. You're going to see the signature fold that we do with our wefts so that you can create equal density on the head. There's no cutting of our wefts. I show you exactly how to make sure that you don't have to cut a single weft of hair and why it's imperative to keep the money that the client has spent on the head and not on the floor, right? It's so true. Keep that money where it's going to produce its biggest bang for the buck. And that's on the client's head. And why do I say it like that? Well, as a stylist, if your client is walking around looking like Billy Ray Cyrus, nobody's going to be asking her for your cards, right? No. As a stylist, making sure the client has enough hair on their head, not needing to cut the hand-tied wefts, because if you cut them, they're going to unravel and they're going to shed and it's going to create a problem and your client's not going to give you a good review, right? And that's that. But if you keep the money on the head and the head looks like a rock star, your client is going to be handing out your cards time and time again to people that she sees everywhere because they're going to be mesmerized by her curly hair because nobody walks around with curly hair extensions. And that I can attest to. People see me and the reaction to my hair. I almost wish sometimes I had a camera following me because it's 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 kind of, I mean, honestly, it's pretty flattering to me. But what I'm gonna say is just now, we were in Florida for the first part of the curl tour, and I'm in the elevator going down, going down the floors. The elevator stops, the door opens, this girl gets on the elevator, and she literally like, oh my God, I've never seen hair like yours before. Oh my God, your hair is so gorgeous. Like, can I just touch it? Can I touch it? That hair, it's amazing. And I'm kind of embarrassed, but at the same time, I'm loving the attention. I gotta say, when someone compliments me like that, I'm definitely gonna have a good day after a compliment like that. And I know that my work is flawless. Like this girl could not get enough of my hair. And it's just one of those things where, like, I mean, let's be real. It's different. It looks different. And people are shocked when they see a head of curly hair that's well taken care of. And then if I would have told this girl that I had extensions in my hair, I think she would have fainted. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like that's how captivated this woman was with my hair. But if you can replicate their short curly hair with long curly hair, you've become their savior because there's not many people out there that can do it. And you've elevated your career. Like you've taken your career from here to here because curly people will search you out. Yes, straight haired people will too. But if a curly girl finds a hairstylist that they love, the statistic is, if you can even believe this, that 96% of the like the oh my God, why am I at a loss for words? Like I want to say the word like come back, right? Like so the odds of your curly client staying with you forever is 96% greater than a straight haired client. Now, that's pretty freaking amazing, right? Because we all know that there's so much competition out there right now. So who doesn't want those odds? 96% where you can keep that client coming back to you. I want those odds. I have those odds with my clients because there's nobody out there doing curly extensions. It's just is what it is. So right now, if you're a stylist and you're feeling overwhelmed with social media, and you do extensions and you do straight extensions and you're like the competition is so fierce, there's so many girls out there that know how to do extensions. I need to set myself apart. Okay, well, it's honestly not going to happen with beach waves and a balayage look on hair extensions because honestly, that's what everybody's showing. But if you start showing that you can do curly hair extensions and you can do them well, you've opened up the revenue streams to so many more clients. We get DMs every day, not just in the United States, but across the world for someone who would know how to do curly hair extensions. And I think that's pretty damn impressive. They are looking for you. We've had Germany, Australia, the UK, Denmark, Canada is like those girls want curly hair like crazy in Canada. Um, but it's all over the US because there is not many extension artists out there that know how to do curly, which brings me to the why of why the curl tour is so important. Because I'm sharing all that knowledge with you that I've gained over the past few. It's been a long time. There is a lot of Botox in this forehead to cover my real age. Um, but I've been a stylist for a really long time. I've been a stylist for 33 years. Obviously, I've worn curly hair my whole life. But like I said, within the last 15 years, I've really honed in on my skills as a curly stylist and an extension artist, and taking it to the next level, creating my own line of hair extensions that is the only one that is out there with naturally curly hand-tied hair from India. So if you want the best, you got to learn from, and I'm just going to say that in this area, I am the best. I've been doing this for a long time. I practice it daily on myself because I wear this hair all the time. I know the ins and outs of it. I have clients that wear curly hair extensions. I have coworkers with them in, and I know what can go south and I know what can be your shooting star. And I am here on this curl tour to create the shooting star stylists who want to level up their career, who want to make more money, who want to stand out because curly stands out from straight any day of the week. So, Adored Signature Install Methods is an install method for textured hair. Can be used on straight hair, but goes from straight to curly like mine. And there's a foundational method with 2 variations. We spend 2 days. The first day is all about the foundational method. The second day is about the variations and why and how to achieve it, and how to color wefts, contracts, pricing, all of that good stuff. The Curly Blueprint is a curly install from start to finish. You're watching as me and my team successfully create a curly hand-tied extension install. We cover hair selection, we cover why we select so much hair, and we cover how to color curly hair. We cover how to install the extensions using the Adored Signature install methods. We cover folding the wefts and why it's important to keep the money on the client's head right where it should be, and how to create equal distribution throughout the row so that the hair looks seamlessly perfect. Then there's the signature cut that we use when we cut curly extensions. And in that cut, it's pretty awesome. I can't even believe that I didn't mention it earlier, but we create the perfect blend for curly. And then we also teach you how to create functional frizz within the row. Sounds crazy. I know. Who would think of it? But if you want your wefts to swell on the row, you need to know how to cut it in order to do that, because we all know how flat a row of wefts can lay in extensions. Perfect for straight. Like I said, straight hair lays like a blanket. Curly hair definitely does not. And you need to learn how to create that functional frizz to create volume within the row. Imperative. That is in the cutting technique. And then the signature styling technique for curly, so that your client knows from start to finish how to take care of their hair. The styling technique is so important. And if you think that you can tell a curly client with extensions that they could put in a cream and leave with their hair wet, you're sadly mistaken. That's what I was talking about when I said you'll have a mess on your hands. Big mess on your hands, because their natural texture is probably compromised. The extensions are nicer. They're going to get in their car. They're going to turn their head from left to right 1,000 times. And what's behind their head in a car? The seat and the headrest. So, perfect opportunity to create a mat ball. Just saying, it does happen. And you need to learn how to get curly hair 100% dry before you finish the style. Like, it's imperative. And then troubleshooting, and pretty much anything else you want to ask me, because it's an open forum. It's super casual. The class sizes are small. So that's another reason, if you want to get in on this, you should definitely click the link below and sign up for the training, because we're not opening this class up to 20 people. My size that I prefer is like 5 to 7 stylists. because there's so much information, there's so much conversation, and there's so much to see. I want everybody to have a front row seat in the mix. Otherwise, you're going to miss out. And I've been at those classes where there's a million people, you're not able to ask questions. The educator's really just not even talking, they're just showing you what they're doing. I just don't want it to be like that. I value a dollar. I value my education, and I want to make sure that everyone and anyone who takes this class is getting what they paid for. And I'm here to help you through it. I'm here to even help you after the fact. I want you to be super successful with curly hair extensions. That's why I created the curl tour. I want you to be successful with curly. I want you to have confidence. I don't want you to be afraid of it. And, texture matching is just as important as color matching. If you don't match the texture within the hair extensions to the natural hair, it's so obvious. Like, this is like the chef's kiss on extensions. Because if you are able to texture match and nail down that blending technique, you are a rock star. Because again, not that I'm diminishing the work of extension artists that install straight extensions, but it's not as an intense of a blending when there's straight extensions. It's not as intense of a styling technique with straight extensions. Again, because it's something that everybody has learned. But when it comes to curly, it's different. It's totally different. And I'm here to share it with you. Here's the other part is that if all you do is straight extensions, the cutting technique that I use to blend my extensions is also going to help you to blend your straight extensions better, because it's going to create a lot more movement than just shattering out the ends. Also, my cut is a start and finish program. Like, there is a method to it. It's not just texturizing the shit out of hair and praying for the best, right? From underneath. It's actually having a method, a starting point and an ending point with reason and a process to complete it, that you understand fully what you're doing and why and where you're making the cut and how. So if you're a stylist and you want to up your game, I'm going to tell you that the Curly Blueprint is 100% for you. If you're a stylist and you want to learn how to install hair extensions, I'm your girl to teach you, because you're going to learn multiple ways to install extensions in one class. So it will serve you across all heads of hair. And it's in person. What's better than that? Like, you actually get to talk to me and see me and have me help you with what you're doing. Um, and I mean, who doesn't want to learn curly? And if you don't want to learn curly, you might want to change your thought process, because 87% of the world has some form of wave to kink in their hair. And that means that there is a lot of people out there that you could be missing the boat on when it comes to hair extensions and revenue in your salon or in your suite, because curly is big and texture is here. So I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. You can find me on social at Jennifer_Johnson_Janisch. That would be on Instagram. Also on Instagram is my salon, Adored Salon, all one word. The hairline is also on Instagram. That is adored_signature_hand-tied_hair. On TikTok, I'm going to look this up. This is kind of embarrassing that I wouldn't know this right off the top of my head, but I've changed this a couple times. So, and you know that TikTok is like, the minute you log in, it's a million different people. Okay, so The top name is Jennifer Curl Specialist, but you will find me at Chicago Curl Specialist on TikTok, and it's just a bunch of cute videos of curly girls and curly hair. So I hope that this gave you insight as to what the curl tour is. I'm also going to link below the release to the curl tour, and I'm also going to link below the curl tour sign up. So if you want to come to one of the salons on the stop, you can. Right now, the next stop is Gulfport, Mississippi. That is February 26th. Then we have one at my salon, that's March 11th. That one is already sold out. And then we have one in May. It's May 19th and 20th is the Adored Signature install methods. And May 21st is the blueprint to an Adored Signature curly install. That one is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 3 days. You can choose just the method, or you can choose just the blueprint to a curly install, or you can choose both because we're there for 3 days. That one is really a big impact, especially if you're a new stylist wanting to learn how to do hair extensions and curly extensions. It's it all right there in one sitting. So I hope to see you guys on the curl tour, and I hope I didn't brag too much, but you know, if you don't toot your own horn, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. And I am the curly girl specialist when it comes to cutting curly hair, styling curly hair, installing curly hair extensions, creating a curly hair extension line, and teaching people how to install, style, cut, everything curly and tied hair extensions. So I hope to see you on the curl tour, and I hope you're having an awesome week. And now I'm gonna go watch that Super Bowl with Taylor Swift. I could care less about the football going on, but I really do want to see her. So, um, yeah, have an awesome night.